Hidden Trump impeachment, time bomb, buried in U.S. Senate foreign aid package, Republican senator says. From 100% fed up, read original. Some media, including videos, may only be available to view at the original. Share this. According to Senator J.D. Vance, R.O., the text of the U.S. Senate foreign aid package includes a provision that could trigger an impeachment against Donald Trump. I just sent the below memo to every one of my Republican colleagues in Congress. Buried in the bill's text is an impeachment time bomb for the next Trump presidency if he tries to stop funding the war in Ukraine. We must vote against this disastrous bill, Vance wrote. Read the full memo. Republicans need to be aware that this bill, supported by Mitch McConnell and almost all of Senate GOP leadership, sets in motion the next hyper-partisan Trump impeachment, before he's even elected. Senator Rand Paul, RKY, commented, "Dead on arrival in the House. Any Republican that votes for this career will be over," said Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, RGA. JD is correct. This bill is an impeachment trap. Representative Matt Gaetz, R. Florida, said, "No Republican should support this bill. If this makes it to the House floor, I'm an absolute no." Representative Dan Bishop, RNC, said. The Senate's $95 billion foreign aid spending bill includes an impeachment argument trap against a future Trump presidency if he decides to stop funding the war in Ukraine. If not stopped in the Senate this week, the House must stop it, Representative Josh Breckin, ROK, commented. Although President Trump pressed the legislative chamber not to pass any further foreign aid without strings attached, 18 Republican senators supported the package. U.S. Senate quietly advances foreign aid package, 18 Republicans support legislation. In a 67-27 vote, the Senate advanced the foreign aid package without border security provisions. Senators must still debate amendments to the legislation before it passes the legislative body. The Senate voted today to advance a $95 billion boondoggle, most of which goes to America's favorite state, Ukraine. Many Republicans are going along like puppets. There's something deeper going on here, Vivek Ramaswamy wrote. In addition to Mullen, McConnell, Tillis and Murkowski, other Republicans backing the aid bill are Sens. Shelley Moore Capito, W. V.A. John Thune, S. D. Bill Cassidy, La. Roger Wicker, Miss. Susan Collins, Maine. Dan Sullivan, Alaska. Todd Young, Ind. Mitt Romney, Utah. Joni Ernst, Iowa. John Neely Kennedy, La. Mike Rounds, SD. Chuck Grassley, Iowa. John Cornyn, Tex. And Jerry Moran, Con. The Washington Post reports, Senator J.D. Vance is sounding the alarm that the Ukraine funding bill is designed to undermine a second Trump presidency and keep the money flowing even if the American people elect a president to stop it. Not another dime, Charlie Kirk commented. The Washington Post reports, senators reaffirmed their commitment to NATO and to sending the $60 billion in assistance to Ukraine on the Senate floor. Ukraine is not a member of the treaty, but many NATO member countries have banded together to help the European nation fend off Russia's invasion. I know it's become quite fashionable in some circles to disregard the global interests we have as a global power, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, RKY, who has been pushing his conference to deliver the Ukraine aid, said on the Senate floor Sunday. To lament the commitment that has underpinned the longest drought of great power. Conflict in human history, this is idle work for idle minds, and it has no place in the United States Senate. Senator Lisa Murkowski, R. Alaska, told reporters it was uncalled for to suggest we throw NATO allies to the Russian wolves. Several Republicans said they didn't believe Trump was suggesting he would support an attack on a NATO ally but was simply encouraging them to pay their share. Any attack on a NATO ally would have devastating consequences for American men and women who would be deployed to defend them, Tillis said. I don't think he's going to withdraw from NATO, Senator Lindsey Graham, RSC, a close ally of Trump's, said Sunday. I think he's trying to make a point. I'm not worried about it at all. Senator Rand Paul, RKY, said he would slow the foreign aid bill's passage as much as possible, which is delaying the final vote. We don't have $100 billion to give anyone, Paul said, referencing the U.S. debt.